Back here on the Columbia College Coaches Show, Mediacom Channel 22, head coach Bob Burchard, former player and assistant coach Drew Grisella. Take us through this dynamic, Bob. You got like a little mini reunion every night at on the court. I know we were talking a little before we shot this show. When you go on the road to the St. Louis area for MOBAP, it's kind of fun. Former players, both on the women's side and men's side, former players and alum of Columbia College have a chance to see you guys and kind of say hey before or after the game. Usually probably after more so than before, but that's always got to be fun for you.
You know, alums don't care. They'll come anytime. They might come up at a timeout and say, hey, Coach, I want to talk to you. But it has been a special year for us, Cosmo, to have Sean and Drew both working in the program. I think they bring a real unique perspective to the game, and certainly for me to watch them work with our guys. You know, you really get connected, I think, when you spend a long time at an institution, and this is 23 years for me here at Columbia. And so when Drew talks about 12 years ago, to me it seems like, you know, that was just
Thursday.
You know, yeah, I mean, that was 12 years. That's crazy. And you do develop relationships with your guys that are long term, and I think that truly is one of the joys of our profession.
And Drew, not just a player for you, and then an assistant for a couple seasons, but then you went on as an assistant in some other schools, and then were the first men's coach at William Woods in the AMC conference, talking about knowing the conference very well. What was that situation like with, I know Bob Burchard, you know, there was a lot of talk, and I know there was a write-up at that time when you took that job at William Woods of, you know, what you took from, what you learned from being, from Bob being your coach and boss on the sideline to being that head coach.
I took a lot, obviously. You know, you get a perspective on the game, and then you don't realize it as you're playing and as you're helping out, as I did. You don't realize that kind of becomes who you are, and your players are the same way. You know, your players just play basketball and want to do the things you're asking so they can be on the floor. And what happens is, over time, they just become what you want them to become. The ones who stick around and make it all the way end up thinking the way you do.
Right.
And that's very similar. You know, I've been around this program a long time, and so there's a lot of philosophies that go hand in hand. And it's just from being around it and thinking the same way and believing in what we're trying to teach.
What was that first Woods Columbia game like when you you were the opposite bench and you're looking down there going, oh, okay, wait, this is like an out-of-body experience almost. But
it was very, very unique. I think there's not many people that get to experience that, and you know, it's not only playing against the person you played for, but it's also playing against your alma mater and your school, and so there's a lot of that on the outside perspective that you try to keep out there.
Sure.
And still focus on your game, but it definitely was a fun rivalry that I got to be a part of.
Well, as the rivalry in most of the sports, as we mentioned earlier, with that women's game coming up this weekend, both teams in the top 25, Woods at number 14 and Coach Davis's squad at number 23.